Hey, welcome back everybody. You're tuning in to howtoplaystock.com. My name's Kepley, and in today's video I wanted to cover another industry in the market space that I'm looking at right now outside of the cryptocurrencies and overall stock markets, and that's the marijuana industry. Okay, I really started focusing in on this a while back, like probably about 6-7 months ago. I haven't covered too much of it though. I've only shot a couple videos on it just because I want to familiarize myself with it a little bit more and do a little bit more research. So in today's video, that's what I'm going to break down, is why the marijuana industry is one of the fastest growing industries in the US overall right now. And you're looking at compounded annual growth of around 30% in the marijuana industry. So I'm going to kind of break down for you in this video you know, the two different pieces of the puzzle to investing in marijuana stocks, and explain why that industry is booming and why I think, you know, over the next, say, 5 to 10 years, you're going to see that industry just explode, kind of like what you're seeing with cryptos in a sense, okay? So stick around, keep watching, and I'll see you in the next portion of this video. Okay, so today's video we're covering the marijuana industry, and I just want to go over some stuff real quick for you on you know, the different aspects of the marketplace for marijuana and how you can go about looking at your investment choices in the marijuana industry. Okay, so getting started, you have two different uses for marijuana. You've got recreational use, of course, and then the medical use. Now, the recreational use, there's only 9 states at the current moment that have legalized the recreational use for marijuana. I'll read those off for you here. I've got some notes just so I don't mess this up. For recreational use, you have Alaska, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, and Washington, D.C. Okay? They have all legalized marijuana for recreational use. Now that's only 9 states, so we have ways to go before all 50 states legalize marijuana for recreational use. So when you're investing in stocks, that is one of your options to go with as far as, you know, investing in companies, individual stocks that are in marijuana, and you know, companies that are growing marijuana, that sort of thing. So that's recreational use. On the other side, you have medical use. Okay, so this is for pharmaceuticals, and right now there's 28 states that have legalized the pharmaceutical use for it. Okay, now this is marijuana that's for treating patients. Okay, whatever it might be. Right now, there's $20.2 billion that's projected in sales by 2021. Okay, now that's a lot of money, and right now we're still in the infancy phase of marijuana and the industry as a whole. So that's the projection for sales by 2021. The market space, okay, when you break it down, you know, I told you there's recreational use and there's medical use, right? Well, both of them have a market space, and the market space consists of like equipment suppliers and your growers. Okay, so you can invest in companies that are actually supplying the equipment for the people who want to grow it. Okay, and then the growers can sell it to, say, like your pharmaceutical companies or companies out there such as vending machines, you know. So that's the market space. Those are some ideas for you if you're looking at investing in marijuana. I personally like the equipment suppliers just because they seem a little bit more stable. I know right now with the stocks in marijuana, a lot of these companies are, you know, like I said, they're still in their infancy phase. You really don't know where they're going. Some of them, and they're very volatile as far as the price. So their price goes up, you know, it can move 40, 50 cents, and then it drops and goes almost to zero. So when you're getting involved with some of these companies, it's almost like playing penny stocks in a sense. I mean, because that's really what you're getting into is companies. You know, most of them being under $1. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you make your choices as far as which companies to get involved with. Do your research, okay? And I'm just telling you my own personal preference as far as what I would invest in if I were, you know, if I'm looking at the marijuana industry, and I'll probably get into it, but I'm just giving you my preference of what I am going to get into if I decide to invest in it. And that would be the equipment suppliers. There's one out there right now. It's called Novus. It's acquisition and development. They do equipment and supply the growers with the equipment to grow it, okay? And that's one of them I'm looking at right now. I'll shoot videos at a later date on that specific company just to kind of give you an idea of what they do. But for now, those are the two main groups in the market space that you can focus on. Again, it's the fastest. This industry right now, excuse me, this industry right now has got the fastest growth for any industry in the United States. Okay, and like I was saying earlier, there's a reason for that, and a lot of it's political. Okay, so for instance, what happened with Denver, Colorado, when they legalized marijuana for recreational use, is that they were able to pull in more revenue off of the taxes on the marijuana being sold. Okay, now what this did in turn for Denver as a city and the state as a whole for Colorado is they were able to literally fund their own state and rebuild a lot of their roads, rebuild some of their schools, and do things that they had not been able to do before because they were relying on funds from the federal government to fund their state. They no longer have to worry about that now because the tax rate on marijuana being sold here in the United States is around 40%. Okay? That's a lot. The taxes on it are really high. And the reason for that is because the state can turn around and use the tax money that they're generating off of it being legal. They can turn around and use that to build their roads and build the infrastructure for their states. And they no longer are required or need the help from federal government for funding. Okay? Now, politicians have woken up to this over the past few years, and the reason why is because it saves the government money as well. Okay? They don't have to turn around and go to they don't have to worry about the budget federally for funding all the states. It helps save them money. And this is huge when it comes to being a politician, because your goal as a politician is to stay in power, okay? And if you can save money on the federal budget, your chances are you're going to get reelected, okay? So politicians are finding themselves in a very unique situation where their backs up against the wall. They may not want to legalize marijuana, but they're seeing what it's doing and what it's done in the past with the states like Colorado and Denver, Colorado specifically. So, you know, it's one of those things where as a politician, you want to get reelected, and the masses of people, more and more people are saying, you know, let's go ahead and legalize it because it's doing good things for the state from a financial standpoint. So I think what you're going to see in the future is a lot more politicians who are legalizing it, and as they legalize it for either recreational or pharmaceutical, you're going to see this industry explode, just absolutely explode. So that's kind of where it's headed right now, and that's just, I wanted to shed some light on that and why I think the marijuana industry is one of the fastest growing industries in the United States, and that plays a big factor in it, is the political side of things. Honestly, I think that politicians will lean much more towards the medical usage rather than recreational. So that's why I'm, you know, if you want to play both sides and be in the middle of that and not have to worry too much which side you're on, again, equipment suppliers is where I would start, because equipment suppliers, they can go with both. They can tap into the recreational, and they can tap into the medical. Okay, that's all I have for today's video. You're tuning in to howtoplaystock.com. These are today's investors' investing tips. If you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and share it with others. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. I'll be shooting other videos in the future on marijuana and stocks in general and cryptocurrencies. So stick around, keep watching. I want to thank all my subscribers right now that have been watching. And that's all I have for today, you guys. And remember, income is the outcome, okay? I'll talk to you later.